see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body.
Toprak Razgatlioglu once again became the center of attention in the racing world, undergoing a crucial test with Yamaha at the Ricardo Tormo circuit in Valencia today. In what is being touted as a crucial moment for the future of Yamaha's MotoGP project, Razgatlioglu immediately demonstrated performance that far exceeded the engineering team's expectations. The test of Yamaha's new V4 engine, projected for the 2026 season, was the main focus. This engine represents a radical departure from Yamaha's decades-old inline-4 tradition. Many questioned whether Razgatlioglu, known for his extreme braking style and aggressive rear-wheel control, could adapt quickly to the completely different engine characteristics. However, Razgatlioglu's response today only further cemented his reputation as a rider with unbelievable talent. As soon as he emerged from the pit lane in the first session, Razgatlioglu immediately appeared confident. Telemetry showed that he was able to utilize the characteristics of the V4 engine very well, especially when accelerating out of the tight corners typical of Valencia. The Yamaha team was even surprised by how Razgatlioglu was able to combine his signature riding style with the V4's more explosive power output in the mid-range. Some Yamaha engineers in the paddock were reportedly shaking their heads at the speed of the Superbike World Champion's adaptation. "We had prepared a phased program for Toprak," said one Yamaha technician. "But what happened was the opposite. He forced us to speed up the testing program because he seemed to be in tune with the bike." Yamaha is increasingly confident that the V4 engine project is on the right track. The combination of the new engine and Toprak's unique riding style could be crucial in returning Yamaha to the top of MotoGP in the coming years. And here's the full news. Yamaha's official test at the Ricardo Tormo circuit in Valencia today proved to be one of the most important moments in Yamaha's MotoGP project. Toprak Razgatlioglu, long known as a rider with the most aggressive racing instincts, finally officially tested the prototype of Yamaha's V4 engine, which is being developed for the future. Today was not just another test session, but one that could determine Yamaha's direction for the next few seasons. Yamaha arrived in Valencia under immense pressure. After years of using an inline-4 engine, they made the major decision to switch to a V4 configuration to catch up with their rivals. Many were waiting to see whether the new engine was truly more competitive, and whether Toprak could maximize the performance of a bike with a very different character from the previous one. The tense atmosphere was palpable from the morning, when the entire Yamaha engineering team assembled, from telemetry analysts and project managers to electronics engineers. All eyes were on Toprak. When the session began, Toprak emerged from the pit lane with full confidence. The deep, powerful sound of the V4 engine immediately captured the attention of everyone in the paddock. It didn't take long for Toprak to reveal his surprise. On just the second lap, Yamaha's telemetry immediately displayed data that had several technicians staring at the screen in disbelief. Sector-by-sector performance showed that Toprak wasn't just adapting quickly. He had truly become acclimated to the V4 engine's characteristics. Yamaha had prepared a gradual adaptation program, but that scenario was quickly shattered as Toprak demonstrated abilities far beyond expectations. The test schedule, which was supposed to proceed slowly, was forced to be accelerated. Toprak's feedback to the technicians was detailed and clear, from throttle response, engine braking, mid-range power characteristics, to wheelie control. He spoke as if he'd been riding the bike for a year, even though he'd only completed a few laps. On the track, Toprak demonstrated a truly lethal combination. His trademark super-late braking blended harmoniously with the V4 engine's more stable character under hard braking. The bike looked incredibly stable entering corners, and acceleration out of corners was even more explosive. Several moments even featured controlled slides that were immediately captured by the paddock cameras. Ramp rumors began circulating in the paddock. Yamaha hasn't released official data yet, but several sources say that TOPRAK was less than half a second off the lap times of the top MotoGP riders participating in the test that day. There are even bolder reports that in certain sessions, TOPRAK even demonstrated a pace that matched the race simulations of top riders. If these rumors are true, Yamaha has every reason to be optimistic that their V4 project is on the right track, and TOPRAK is key to its success. In the garage, the mood at Yamaha has completely changed. The team, which had previously arrived under pressure, now appears more enthusiastic, and some analysts even smiled when they saw the very promising telemetry data. TOPRAK's performance has given the manufacturer new energy. Meanwhile, TOPRAK himself appeared relaxed, although his eyes revealed a look of satisfaction that was hard to hide. When asked about the test results, he simply said, "The bike is different, but interesting. I enjoyed it." A short sentence, but full of meaning. From today's entire test, one thing is clear: Yamaha has discovered something very valuable in TOPRAK. The combination of the new generation V4 engine with his unique, aggressive riding style could be Yamaha's key weapon in rekindling the competition at the top. The Valencia test may be just the beginning, but if this performance is any indication of the future, then MotoGP is poised to welcome a new and far more dangerous Yamaha era. The day MotoGP fans have been waiting for has finally arrived. TOPRAK was too fast officially took part in the first test of the Yamaha V4 engine prototype at the Ricardo Tormo circuit in Valencia. After months of speculation and mystery, Yamaha finally unveiled the new generation of motorcycles, which are expected to form a strong foundation for the 2026 MotoGP season. This momentum clearly marks a significant step in Yamaha's journey, having been known for decades as a manufacturer with an inline-4 engine philosophy, but now daring to take a new direction to return to the forefront. Since morning, the Yamaha paddock felt more crowded than usual. Mechanics worked quickly, ensuring every sensor, aerodynamic device, and electronic component was perfectly installed. The black motorcycle with its simple livery drew curiosity, especially because the shape of its fairing and aero belly looked very different from the previous generation M1. When TOPRAK emerged from the garage in full gear, journalists immediately surrounded him, capturing this historic moment. The atmosphere seemed to signal the beginning of a new era, and TOPRAK was the first rider entrusted with writing its first chapter. When the V4 bike started up, the sound from the exhaust immediately filled the pit lane. It no longer had the high-pitched character of the M1, but was deeper, heavier, and more aggressive, a distinctive V4 sound that was completely new to Yamaha. Some of the veteran mechanics were even seen nodding and smiling, as if feeling that this was the modern step they had been waiting for. TOPRAK emerged from the garage and began his warm-up laps calmly. In the early laps, he seemed focused on learning the bike's character, adapting the much more explosive throttle response to his riding style. But as is often the case, adaptation wasn't a major issue for him. Within just a few laps, he was already demonstrating his trademark extreme braking style. Hard braking into the first corner immediately caught the attention of many standing on the sidelines. The bike seemed stable under heavy braking, and he was able to confidently take the V4 into the apex, despite the engine's characteristics being so different from the bikes he had ridden before. As the laps progressed, TOPRAK's speed increased dramatically. In the second run, he appeared to be playing even more aggressively, pushing the bike to perform at a higher level. The smooth sliding into corners, the hard acceleration out of corners, and the precise wheelie control all proved that it didn't take him long to grasp the rhythm of the new bike. Several other riders in private practice were even seen turning their heads as TOPRAK passed by at high speed in Sector 3. Word spread that by the third run, his time was already within a very promising margin for the first day of testing a new bike. From the pit wall, the Yamaha technical team seemed to be giving positive signals every time TOPRAK passed. Data from the telemetry screens clearly showed the bike's performance improving from lap to lap. The engineers even noted that TOPRAK's riding style was unlocking the bike's potential in previously unexplored areas. He was able to push the engine to work under extreme braking pressure and acceleration, something that was very useful for the long-term development process. One technician even remarked that TOPRAK made the bike come to life in a different way than other riders who had tested the early prototypes. The Yamaha racing boss, who was seen briefly stepping out of the data room, made a brief but meaningful comment. He stated that this test was a crucial moment to ensure Yamaha's return to being a major force in MotoGP. The boss acknowledged that TOPRAK's presence had a significant impact on development, particularly because his aggressive riding style could quickly reveal the bike's weaknesses. He even described TOPRAK as a rider with unique instincts that can elevate the bike's performance faster than expected. Meanwhile, TOPRAK himself appeared satisfied after completing several long stints. In a brief interview, he described the character of the Yamaha V4 bike as very different, but very promising. He acknowledged that there was still much to learn, particularly the control of spin in long corners, and the more aggressive throttle response compared to the inline 4. However, his face clearly showed satisfaction. There was a kind of unconcealed happiness when he said the bike had great potential if developed properly. The reaction from the paddock was also quite positive. Several other manufacturers were reportedly watching Yamaha's development closely. Yamaha's V4 was considered their